All right, why don't we call the meeting to order and let's get the show on the road.
Yep.
Okay, I guess we can start with the approval of the minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Motion. Guys, you got to say who you are, okay? I guess that's what the rules I was listening to. So, motion by Jovia,
Second by Jim Bosworth.
okay. In favor? Jim Bosworth?
Yay.
Jim?
Yep.
Joe?
Yes.
And I'm in favor, okay. Okay, we can't do nothing with the board right now. What do you want to go to? You want to go?
Why don't we go to that disc golf, because that's
Yeah,
actually, so
Yeah.
I read that, we don't have, I'm not sure where this came from, but you need 9 acres of land to do this, and we don't have 9 acres of land. So we don't have 1 acre of land to do this. So I think that the individual that submitted it maybe wasn't really familiar with the park. Maybe I don't know if they're not from around here or not. So, I mean, it's feasible, from a feasibility standpoint, we just don't have the space to do that if we wanted to.
Right, that's what I thought when I looked at it too.
But we brought it to you anyway, so I mean, we can't really move, I mean, we just don't have any land, so.
Do we need a motion to deny it, or do we?
I think Tim should just contact them and tell them we don't have that land. I mean, I don't think is that the same thing they have out at UMass?
I'm not sure.
They have some type of disc golf thing out there.
Yeah, I think Becky was kind of under the impression it was something that was like portable, you'd set it up, but it's not. When I read through the proposal, it's a permanent thing, so we just don't have the land for that.
All right, so why don't you send them a letter or call them and tell them? We don't
Yeah,
have
we'll
the
just,
land.
yeah, we'll just call them. Becky will just email them.
Okay,
Uh,
where you want to go director's report? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah. COVID update? I don't know.
We'll do director's report. So the only thing I really have under there as far as some of our project updates, the tennis courts, still still, okay, Joan's trying to get on, okay. Hildan is waiting for PJ Keating plant to reopen, and that's not happening right now, so that's the holdup on that one. The Russell's Mills Playground is, I don't know what else to do there. I can't get any movement from Greg on bidding out that installation. It's been 4 months or so, maybe 4.5 months. I don't know. And, if maybe the chairman of the park board wants to call the chairman of the selectmen and have a discussion. I mean, I don't know what else to do. We've literally missed the entire summer.
I can try that. I've tried to contact, I've reached out to Greg twice. I've gotten no response. So I will call the chairman of the select board, whether that, see where we go from there.
I mean, because we got the Aponic one is going to be coming up fast on the heels of this one. And if we can't get this one done, the Aponic it's a bigger job.
Right.
Timing is everything on that weather-wise. So
I will make the call right after this meeting.
Joan's coming on right now, so just. The bandstand, we're still kind of waiting for the stone to come in. That's on order. The steps were installed. That's kind of where we are with that one. And the rest of the stuff has to do with COVID.
Sorry. Yeah.
You there, Joan?
I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Took me a
You're there.
while.
You just got to start the video.
How do I do that?
I don't know. You're on an iPad. Jim did that. There should be a camera with like a line through it, maybe. Somewhere.
I see it now.
If you just tap the top of the iPad, Joan, it should be there.
There it is. She's there. You're there. We got you.
Whoa, I got it.
And Sherry's coming too, so you might as well just give it a second. There's Sherry. We're all here. Everybody's here.
Yeah, in the middle of the work, it's still work day for me, so I have to finish up one thing before getting to another. Sorry.
No, we were just going over the status of the director's report of the playground installation at Russell's Mills, and I asked folks that, we haven't gotten anywhere with Greg as far as bidding that installation out for basically 4.5 months, the whole summer going by.
Really?
And so I think Jim said he's going to call the chairman of the select board and
Okay.
see if we can get some movement on that, because we've got a punt against it now, was approved at town meeting. And I want to do that in the fall, and that's even bigger of a job. So if we can't get Russell Mills done, we're just, we're really just in our wheels here, so. That's not, and I went over the tennis court, they're just waiting, they're still waiting on PJ Keating to reopen their plant to get the asphalt.
Okay.
And also, we talked about that disc golf, that proposal that was sent, but that was sent for a, we don't have the land to do that, unfortunately. It requires about 9 acres of land. I read through the document.
I thought I read 17 to 25.
Yeah, yeah, you might be right. You might be right. Yeah. So, I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
it's-
not feasible that we can help them because we just don't have the property. We'll let them know that through an email.
I was gonna say a lot of land.
Yeah. So, Jim, that's all I got on the director's report really at this point. So if you want to stop back at the beginning, or what do you want to do?
Is Sherry back? Is Sherry on?
Everybody's here. Sherry's on. Everyone's
Okay.
here.
Then why don't we go back to the beginning to reorganize the board for this year?
Sherry was one of the high vote getters in the election.
Yep.
In fact, I think she was the second highest vote getter in the entire election. Her and
Sherry.
Susan McDonald.
Sherry, you be willing to take over the chairman's job?
Is it someone else want to do it?
Well, but you had all those votes.
Yeah, I know, right? I like if someone else would do it, but I can do it if no one else wants to.
Looks like you're it.
All right.
All right, Sherry, I see, I was gonna hold off. I would do it, but you haven't been chairman yet, I don't think, have you?
Oh,
Have
she
I
has.
been? No.
No, if you don't want it, I'll take it. If you take it, that's fine. It doesn't make a difference. It's just a COVID thing this year. We should be all right.
Yeah, she's been on the board quite a long time. And,
I
if
agree.
you don't want it, Sherry, you really don't want it, but if you want it, I think you can do it.
Yeah. I'm okay if Joe does it.
A motion?
I need a motion
We're
somewhere.
just discussing.
I moved the discussion along.
Well,
So,
what do you got? Arthur giving you ice cream down there today?
so somebody's gonna I'll make a motion that Joe be the chairman of the board for this year.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Okay, I got a motion made and seconded. Sherry. You're gonna say, tell me
Are you
aye.
gonna do
Aye.
a roll call?
Aye,
Joan,
aye.
Jim Bosworth,
Yes,
and I'll vote yes too, so it'll be unanimous.
Need a vice chair, Jim.
Okay, we need someone make a motion for a vice chair. Sherry, would you like that?
Sure.
Somebody make a motion.
Motion.
Motion for Sherry for vice chair.
Second,
Second. Motion made seconded by Joan. In favor, Joe,
Yes.
Jim Bosworth,
yes.
Joan,
yes.
and I vote yes. And Sherry, you want to vote for yourself?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Great. The only thing left is the beach parking and restrictions update. Timmy?
So we opened last weekend and I'm really pleased with how it went. Becky and I were both down there for almost the whole day. Jim was down there with us as well for a good part of the day, kind of watching what was going on. We were doing town meeting at the same time from our car because we had town meeting during the day. And, on Saturday, we hit the 200 cars for a brief period of time around, I don't know if it was around 11 or 12, maybe 11 or so. And it was a very brief period of time. I think 3 cars were waiting at the top, and each of those cars really only waited like 4 or 5 minutes, I believe the gate guides told me, to get down, as that time of day, you've already got people already leaving for the day. They came at 9 o'clock and they were leaving around noon time. So those cars came in. We haven't hit the capacity since. We did not hit, even today, it's a very hot, sunny day out right now. And I just called over there and their highest number was 166 so far. And then it's dropping now already. So I think that as far as the distancing, people seem to be keeping a distance from each other. We've got the bathrooms set up with the cones, and people seem to be acknowledging that, and they're doing their part. As well as, the bucket the same way, working very well with the cones and the social distancing. We've got tons and tons of signage down at Round Hill. Every pathway going to the beach has a sign about social distancing. Every lifeguard stands has a sign with the number from the Board of Health to call if they have concerns about social distancing. And there are a couple of additional social distancing signs placed on the beach or in the area of the lifeguard stands. So I think we've, and of course, as you know, everyone that got a beach sticker knows about the social distancing through our guidelines that we hand out to everyone. So I think we've done our part as far as education goes, educating people. I think that people generally got the understanding of how it works from just everywhere you go now, of kind of what the new normal is for now. And I think it's working quite well. I think Jim and I, when we looked at the beach at one point, there was, the end toward Round Hill during that difficult time still had some space left to it. And one of the big issues that we're having here is one of the big resident concerns we're having is folks that, would like to get 2 stickers because either they have a college or a high school daughter or son that live in the house, or they have, the grandparents live in the house. It's not necessarily the immediate, like a husband and wife and young child. It's more of the ones that are still living at home. They're off kind of doing their own thing. That's been a big complaint and a big concern from the residents. And I think, Jim can certainly talk to it. He was down there. That, I'd certainly suggest that you guys consider loosening up on what we've seen so far, loosening up that second sticker and maybe increasing the cars to some ratio to allow for that. Those additional stickers, because like I said, even when we were maxed out and Jim and I were looking, we still had some room down the Round Hill Estates end of the beach. I went through the phase 1 guidelines that we created before the beach opened, and I kind of sent them to you. I emailed them to you with some red highlights of possible changes that you might want to make. But again, it's up to you guys to discuss that and decide where you want to go.
Yeah, I agree with Timmy. I was down there and a lot of cars, almost half of the people were one person in a car. And a lot of people have talked to me about, the wife is home or the husband's home and the other one gets out of work and they can't meet each other at the beach. And so I think at least open it up to back to more than at least 2 stickers a household would be a huge help. And I don't have a problem with maybe another 50 cars or so. Open it up for at least another 50 cars or so. Bring our limit to 250.
Yeah, I've got some a resident down there. Even before this all started, she's got pictures and of not only the beach but the parking lot. She counted 289 cars, almost 300 cars, and with pictures of the beach. And I believe it was low tide, and I think it was probably similar to what you guys saw. I agree. We open up the sticker to 2 per household, at least right now. I'd like to go up to at least 300 cars, I think, down there. Just because of what I saw on that picture. Again, they one in twosies. I mean, there was plenty of room on the beach. And I think with the 4th of July weekend up, I think if we do that, it was still controlling it. It's not going to be that mass chaos that we had last weekend when there was no regulations there at all. Even during a peak time, I think it was, Timmy, 450 cars comfortably on that beach. Is that what our max is?
Uh-oh.
We got 450?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like 400, I think.
400? So, I mean, I saw the 289 that was there. Again, I think if we open it up a little bit, I mean, we can always reduce it again. I think with the 4th of July week coming up, if we kick it up and if it becomes a problem where we start seeing people misbehaving, we can always reduce it, the following week back down. But I think it's worth a shot. But that's just my thought, Jimmy. Whatever we decide is fine. But that's just my thought on that.
I don't know. I just think 100 all of a sudden seems like a big jump. That's like half of what we started with. I would prefer to see what happens after 4th of July. Then maybe we go up another 50 or whatever. Then 4th of July, more families will be going. So if we open up to another 100 cars, and all of a sudden they start
Okay.
packing more people in the car. I think we couldn't, what we don't want to do, in my opinion, is have a problem on 4th of July, which is always a tough day anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's just why I just think maybe we just go to 50 for now and see what happens. And, we're going to have another meeting shortly anyways, maybe right after the 4th.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I think
mean, something-
we're already, being more flexible. We're going with more stickers and more cars. So I just hate to
Okay.
go with 100 and all of a sudden we have a real problem on 4th of July. But
Yeah.
that's just
I
my
mean,
opinion.
it's reasonable. I mean, again, I'm just looking at it like if, because we should be at phase 3. I think the governor's phase 3 is July 6th. So we're going to be already at that next level. That's why for 2 days. But
Could we go up 50? Could we just increase it by 50?
So,
No.
so
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is, this will still just, even though we're already in phase 2 at the state level, we're still operating at the park level in our phase 1. So we could go to phase 2 until the July, when he comes out with his phase 3, and then our phase 3 could bump up again if we don't have any
Yeah.
problem.
all right, that's fair. I think that's reasonable. I know where Jimmy's coming from. I understand that. We're trying to make sure that it's all safe. Yeah, I would.
And I would, then I'd also, as far as the multi-sticker house, do you want it just to be 2? I mean, normally we don't have many people that go for any more than that, but it might just be, there's quite a few steps involved in us verifying the number of stickers per household in the trailer, because we gotta go to the assessor database to do that. And there's very few people that get more than 2. It's up, again, it's your decision, but I would just put it back to not,
No restrictions.
there's not enough people to get
Right.
anything, and it's just a big headache out in the trailer.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, and actually, we'll see what the real pressure is on the beach once we open it up to that. We'll see actually how many cars are going to go down there. Right now, we know like 66 during the day because there's one sticker. I mean, I get it. There are people with multiple cars, and yeah. All right.
Is there any way, like, we're talking about the number of cars, is there any way to post it somewhere so that people know when it is at capacity? I know that they can leave and then the capacity would, but I feel like, and you don't really, it might only be like 10 minutes, but if you do get a day where you're max out and there's not any movement, I feel like before people want to go to the beach, I've seen it a couple different times as people are like, how's the beach? Will I be able to go in? I just feel like there should be a place where we could maybe post it like full, even if it's full for a little while. I don't know.
Timmy, do we have a Twitter account?
No, we have a Facebook account. That's it.
Would it be thought? I don't know. I don't use Twitter, but I see that seems to be the information. Something that we could just put out quickly. Round Hill at capacity at 10 o'clock. Next 10:15 Round Hill not at capacity. 10 spots or whatever. Something that there could be some interchange with even the gate guard or somebody there that could put that out over Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter or Facebook though. You could
Yeah.
post it on Facebook if that's
Yeah.
where you want to put it.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm just trying to
Facebook, I've never done Twitter myself. The gate guards wouldn't be able to do that because of the controls. But I guess if they call Becky or I, we could put it on Facebook.
Yeah,
I
Well,
just think
good
there has
idea.
to be, or it could be,
there's really no quick, instantaneous way to do it. I mean, like a message board or something. There's really nothing because it changes so often.
Wasn't there a message board like they do, like with the bridge is opened in Fairhaven, this bridge closed, bridge open? There's like a little, when you go over
Yeah.
Fairhaven, if it's,
Yeah,
it lets
the
you
sign.
know.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
sign up ahead.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Probably
Sherry's trying to notify people that are home debating.
that
whether they have to
before
put
they
cars
leave,
on.
if they're on
Yeah.
Reed Road, leaving Reed Road at, and they take half an hour or whatever to get to the beach, something that you could just it could open up, but what if it doesn't? You go all the way there and waste your gas, and then they're going to be irritated. I feel like we need to have, there's got to be somewhere where we can, if it is on Facebook or Dartmouth Health, there might be a way that you could post it
Yeah, just make sure.
as you give like one of your people at the beach, even if you don't want to do it, the capabilities of posting, like maybe, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm trying to think if on Facebook there's if you can give someone else that role as a contributor? Let me see.
It'd almost have to be like a separate page.
Yeah, you could just do that. You could have a link on your Dartmouth page, on the Dartmouth page to just whether or not Round Hill's open or closed, and then just share that and get that out there.
I mean, right now, I think that it would be easiest for them just to call us and us post it. Because I think the only times it's gonna actually hit that capacity is on weekends.
Yeah.
I don't think during the week it's gonna hit the
Yeah,
capacity.
so
Yeah.
I
It's gonna
think,
hit July 4th weekend, and even on weekends, it might not even hit the capacity, especially just up to by 50 cars.
Yeah.
So I think the easiest way to make it clean is just have the gate guide call back here, and we'll just.
and just
we
say
can do
we're
it-
full.
I can do it from my phone.
Yeah, right to the Round
Right.
Hill. Right to-
It's just a
right to the-
quick post.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's,
Sounds good.
I need motions on, there's a couple things we need to make some motions and votes on.
All right.
I mean,
about a
Let's work-
multiple motion, that we increase the parking lot space by 50. We allow no more limitations on 1 sticker per household. Make that in the form of
Yes.
a motion.
I have a second to that.
I second that.
Motion's made by Joe, seconded by Sherry.
Yep.
In favor, Jim Bosworth.
Yeah, is Michelle on board with this increase in cars? I mean, it's on.
I mentioned the 50 car and, you know, the, getting rid of the stickers to him this morning, and he didn't.
Yeah, the sticker thing, I don't think has anything to do with him. I think just the numbers down there, as long as he's okay with the numbers. I don't want to get over and then get a complaint from the board. of
He
health.
didn't say no. He didn't say yes or no. He just acknowledged it and took it all in.
But
All
yeah,
right.
his concern is the amount of people on the beach, Jim. I don't think it's so much the
Yeah.
cars. We
No, I
use the
agree with
cars.
that. I don't want to add 50 and then be over and then get a
Yeah.
complaint from the board of health and
Yeah,
have to kick
yeah,
it back down. So I just
think-
want them to be aware that we're going to increase it. So there may be more pin. According to Timmy, when he went down there at 200, the end of the beach towards Round Hill was pretty much empty.
Yeah, the
So-
pictures that I saw of 289 cars, it wasn't that bad either. And everybody was doing their social distancing bitch, which they do anyways at the beach. Nobody's like sitting on top of each other.
Yeah, I'm
Unless
okay
they're
with
families.
50. The stickers, so that means we go back to like last year, we're going to allow, multiple house and it's
Yes.
just going to be. we're just
But,
gonna-
you know, yes, but I mean, there's still other issues that I'm not sure, you know, you got the seasonal renter in there that we're not currently allowing right now. Is there anything else? Yeah, and I'm not sure you want to change that right now.
No. We still have to
The
take care of our
motion's
own
not-
people first.
The motion's not with the seasonal rentals, right?
No,
No,
No.
It's just, it's getting
Just-
rid of the restrictions on households. So if you had 4 in a
Right.
household, you could get the 4 in a
Right.
household.
correct.
All right.
Okay, I'm all right with that. Parking, as long as Mishad's on, at least is aware of it and the stickers are fine.
He's definitely aware of it.
Any other discussion before we vote? No? Okay, in favor, Jim Bosworth,
Yes,
Joe. Piella,
Yes. Yes.
Sherry,
yes.
Joan,
Yes.
and I'm in favor also.
All right, the next item is on our phase 1 on that sheet, we had the restricted games on there. The state has removed that restriction on non-contact games. So I would suggest that you guys also remove the restriction. Not that there's a lot of games playing down there.
Motion to
it could
remove
be
the
a joke.
restriction as listed.
second on that motion, Jim Bosworth.
Any discussion on that? Hearing none, in favor, Joe,
Yes.
Jim Bosworth,
Yes,
Sherry,
Yes.
and Joan,
Yes.
and I'm in favor also.
So basically what I sent you yesterday on the phase 2 proposal is what you just voted for in the last
Right.
couple of motions. So
Right.
we'll replace phase 1 and go into phase 2 at this point. And then, I have some notes here for the future of, like I kind of mentioned, I mean, if the governor moves into phase 3 early July, we can see between now and then how that goes, and you guys can move into a phase 3. And, that might or might not change parking. There's a lot of discussion on concerts. Concerts, technically, what I saw on his phase 3 could be allowed in phase 3 on outdoor venues. So we'll have to see what he gives for guidance and things on that. And then, obviously, if things were going well and we were still in the proper trending, and phase 3, you decide to go up another 50 cars or something around Hill, then the 4th phase, I assume, would be back to normal. But that's just kind of how I'm thinking we could break this down going in the future if things keep moving in a positive direction.
So we'll probably have another meeting somewhere around July 6th, whenever the new
Yeah.
guidelines come out.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
hope that he would come out with the guidelines, before the 6th, but clearly, the phase 3 originally was supposed to come out June 29th. And I think he's
Right.
pushing things out to get past the 4th of July. That's my gut tells me he's trying to get past the holiday before he goes into that next phase, but we'll see. I mean, once we get the next set of guidelines, then we'll set up another meeting and see what those guidelines look like and see where we can go.
I agree. All right. Anything else, Timmy?
No, I had COVID update on the old business. We kind of really talked about it. We're still operating the trailer out here. We've issued, I believe yesterday was 2,800 stickers, which is right on track with where we would be this particular time of the year. I am going to be going out to get one of those floor model air conditioners tomorrow, hopefully for the trailer, because it's getting way too hot in there. Yeah, and I thought we might have had one around here that I could, but we got to get some air in there for the girls and everything, because that's metal. I mean, that heats up in the sun like it's in an oven. So we've got to take care of that, and that will go through COVID. As far as I'm concerned, it's a COVID expense based on what we have to do. Yeah, I think everything else, Jones and Apponeonset seem to be running fine at this point. Jones, they both officially opened Saturday. And I think, the plan at this point for July 4th for Jones Beach, I mean, we can have that discussion. I think, basically the neighbor had approached me, one of the neighbors asked me kind of what we were doing. And I said, really? I said, if we were to try to restrict our parking inside Jones Beach on July 4th, that parking would just push out to Bliss Corner, and Bliss Corner would become a parking lot, and we would still have the same number of people in the park. So I think for the sake of that neighborhood, I think we probably should operate Jones as we normally operate Jones. An additional police officer down there, because we already have the COVID. Oh, I just lost what is happening. Oh, hello?
You're there.
Oh, I'm there. Yeah, I lost you guys. Basically, we did add an additional police detail in addition to the COVID detail, because we normally always have a detail down there just to help with things. And, we'll see. I mean, I may at some point, I mentioned it to Joe, I think we may not need the police detail during the week as long as, the way we have it set up, we're kind of just feeling it out, because we haven't been hitting capacity. So,
Yeah.
We haven't been having issues. I think we'll have to play that one by ear. If I feel we don't need it, I'll cut it back.
Timmy, excuse me. Go ahead, Joe.
No, there's down at Jones Beach. I know that we made, when DNRT uses our property on Russell's Mills, any thought of maybe marking off the parking spaces down there so we can get at least we can keep some check on the grass? I know it's a lot more work.
Last year, I actually had the lifeguard, one of the lifeguard supervisor down there that actually parked the cars as they came in, and it was a one and done deal. So
about additional staff down there for COVID related stuff.
we're trying. We're actually starting to run a little low on staff. We lost a couple of kids. One of our recreation kids resigned. We had an issue with a second individual with a drug test, and we're actually running a little low right now. So we're trying to figure out if we can give some more hours to some of the other kids from the other positions. So, but we do stock the lifeguard. We'll have extra lifeguards on the lifeguard.
Timmy, I was just going to say, we have to make sure that we post that we're giving out the additional stickers on our website somewhere. So
Well, we'll post phase two.
Get it out.
Like I did the last time, I'll post the phase two. Hey, this is phase two now posted, and it will. So, and obviously we'll change the documentation out in the trailer on the door. And usually when I post it to Facebook, usually DCTV picks that up, and then we
Okay.
put it on our website. And so
put it out on Facebook. Okay.
I mean, all the comments from the social media sites, even with, of course, we have the doom and gloomers. No matter what we do, we're going to be wrong.
Yeah.
But the average everyday person, the ones that are reasonable out there, that have been going back and forth to the beach, who in the past have been critical of us, have really said that, the staff's been doing a good job. Everything seems to be working out. So that's good, because those are the ones that I listen to, the ones who are always critical of everything. And when they say something positive, that to me, that's like a bonus round for us. So they do have a lot of good things to say about our staff and what's been going on. So that's good.
And I'm you know, most of the comments you see on Facebook about, right out here about purchasing your sticker, I mean, I've seen many good comments regarding the process of getting the sticker and dealing with the staff in the trail and how courteous they've
Yeah.
been. And I think, you know, we had that 1 day blip there where everybody thought they had to get it on that 1 day.
That was the first day.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, you know, I mean, the misinformation on Facebook is unbelievable. I mean, there's people have posted, oh, I drove by yesterday, saw a note on the trail, a note, ran out of stickers. I mean, none of that ever happens. I mean, people literally are making some of this stuff up and just posting it on Facebook.
Yeah.
There's information that's 100% inaccurate and false, but they put it out there. So we've never run out of stickers. We don't run out of stickers, and it goes very smoothly. I should also mention, and this is a little bit off topic, but you know, we have started accepting the credit cards and the debit cards down at Bucket, and the report I got from Arthur is it's going very smoothly, and all of the staff, the younger staff, know how to operate the credit card machine. And in fact, he had mentioned to me that he probably won't even need the ATM machine next year because things are going so well. So I think we're in good shape there.
Wow.
The Bucket's doing very well.
He is doing very well.
And everybody's down there social distancing because I was down there watching for a while.
Did I miss anything about the concerts?
Well, we're just, you know, I believe what I read is that in phase 3, outdoor concert venues would be allowed. And he's supposed to, like I said, he was supposed to announce that on the 29th, but clearly
Yeah.
he's trying to push that out till maybe July 6th. So hopefully he gets that guidance out and we can look at it, because it's possible if he gets into that 3rd phase, July 6th, we can get most of July and August in if we fit on those guidelines.
Okay. Because I've been inundated, haven't been able to pay attention to all the phases and what's happening.
Yeah. And you know, town hall here is still not open, so the whole trailer idea out front, I mean, had we not done that, we would have really been in a mess right now. So that really worked out, and that's thanks to Joe from EMA let us use that trailer, because we would have been in a big mess. I mean, at this point.
Wait till you get the bill.
Yeah.
All right, we have anything else to discuss, Mr. Lancaster?
No.
No? Okay, I guess motion to adjourn is in order.
Motion.
Motion made and seconded. Jim Bosworth,
Yes.
Joe Viera,
Yes.
Joan,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yep.
and I. Okay,
All right.
what I say.
Thanks, guys.
Nice.
Bye.